Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I am Adam McCullough. We are live and we are here for the foreseeable future as it's the UEFA Europa League group stage draw today. Manchester United are in part 1. We are seeded and of course we will find out our group stage opponents today in the next half an hour. I'm saying half an hour. It could be 45 minutes. It could be an hour. It could be 15 minutes. These guys tend to be so the group stage draws tend to be such a mishap, and they tend to be very all over the shop. They either drag them out or they're very quickly. So just bear with us as we're here live discussing Manchester United's group stage opponents, and that graphic there will update as and when the teams are announced. Obviously United are the first name in the group as we are the seeded opponents. I can see Andrew, Andy, Alex, McLaren, Jack all in the comments already, so thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name's Adam McCullough. If you haven't joined us before here on Full Time Devils, then thank you for joining us. Thank you. Welcome to the show. And make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well and joining over 500,000 Full Time Devils. We've actually got close to 2 million Full Time Devils across all of our social medias, because you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and all that good stuff. So who can Manchester United be drawn against today? Let's have a look at some of our potential group stage opponents. I'll read out the pots. So pot 2 has Psv Eindhoven. We went there in the Champions League not long ago and Luke Shaw picked up his injury. That was a disappointing trip there. We've got Krasnodar from Russia. Celtic, that would be a good away day, wouldn't it? Copenhagen, Braga from Portugal, Ghent from Belgium, Gladbach from Germany, obviously, Young Boys of Switzerland, who I believe we've played before, Astana from Kazakhstan, Ludogorets from Bulgaria, Apoel from Cyprus, and Frankfurt, obviously, from Germany. So that's pot 2. The most difficult teams there, you're looking at PSV, Celtic, Braga, Gladbach maybe, Frankfurt. Young Boys are alright as well. And a trip to Ludogorets is never the easiest place to go, although they're not the most difficult of opposition. Then in pot 3, so this could be our second opposition, Saint Etienne, Karabag, Feyenoord. Now obviously if United get PSV, we can't draw Feyenoord from the third pot. You can't get two teams from the same country in the same group. Getafe, Espanyol, so 2 La Liga teams in pot 3. Sweden's Malmo, the place where Zlatan started his career, I believe. Partizan Belgrade, that would be a massive away day. Standard Liège from Belgium. Rennes, Rosenborg of Norway, and Başakşehir. Hopefully I've said that right, the Turkish outfit from Istanbul. So that is pot 3. I keep saying pot 2 because it's the second pot of potential opposition, but that's pot 3 for Manchester United. So we could potentially get something like PSV and Saint Etienne. That would be pretty tricky. Or PSV and Başakşehir, or Celtic and Başakşehir. That would be pretty difficult. That would look like a Champions League group, wouldn't it? In pot 4, we have AZ Alkmaar of Netherlands, Vitória of Portugal, Trabzonspor from Turkey, Alexandria from the Ukraine, Dudelange from Luxembourg, LASK, is that Lashk from Austria, Wolfsburg from Austria as well, Bratislava, Lugano Rangers, Cluj and Ferencváros. So those are the potential opposition for Manchester United in the Europa League group stages. A very interesting one. Obviously the Europa League can send Manchester United all over the place, and that team that I mentioned, Ferencváros, United haven't played them since 1965 in the Fairs Cup. So that would be you'd think, have we ever played them? And then you look at it and you think, oh, we have, a very long time ago. Some of these teams were great once upon a time. You're looking at Partizan Belgrade, one of the earliest winners of the Champions League. Celtic obviously won the Champions League and did that obviously massive Lisbon Lions side, but they failed to ever reach the heights of that in Europe for a long time. But we did have a few group games against them in the Champions League. I remember Nakamura scoring, was that his name? in a free kick when Celtic won. I remember Giggsy going down at Old Trafford. They scored early, and then United won 3-2, I think. Giggsy pulled his hamstring. We got a penalty. It wasn't even a dive. Giggsy ran in the box, pulled his hamstring, fell over and got a penalty against Celtic. But we won that game coming from behind at Old Trafford. And I remember I was sitting in the North Stand going up the stairs, and I heard the Champions League music going up the stairs, still going up the stairs. And by the time I got there, Celtic were 1-0 up, but United did win in the end. So some very interesting teams potentially facing up. And what could be the most difficult group? Let's see. Imagine you got a Gladbach or a Celtic or a PSV and a Getafe or a Espanyol or Standard Liège or Basak Sierra in the second one, AZ Alkmaar in the fourth pot, Rangers even. You could get a difficult group, to be fair, but most of these teams United should be beating. How should we treat the Europa League this year, guys? What do you guys think? And I'll give you an update on the draw. Some bloke with a grey hair, grey beard combo, looks like someone you'd find on Guess Who, is now introducing someone called Andres Bunko with the trophy. So it looks like we're getting closer to the draw. Alex says Celtic and PSV would be great. Those would be some great away days, wouldn't they? They'd be absolutely fantastic. Any other comments? Apoel, Espanyol and Vitoria, says Savas. We were great once upon a time, says Jack. I love that, mate. Hope Gomez and Garner get a chance, says John. Should be interesting. I've said that a lot. I say that phrase a lot, don't I? I think that phrase has replaced in my vocab. So back in the day when I first started out on Full Time Devils, you guys that have been here from 1,000 subs or 1 sub even will know. I used to, because I was an amateur, still am an amateur, just managing to blag by in this industry. But I used to say a lot. And I think I just say, yeah, that's interesting when I don't know what to say. What did you make of Cantona's speech, says Aaron J. Ghosh. Now that was obviously part of the Champions League draw yesterday and the Champions League, sorry, not the Champions League, the UEFA award ceremony. Obviously United invited the next day because, wow, we're in the Europa League, aren't we? Second rate club at the moment, second rate European competition. We don't belong at the high table. But Cantona lit up the place with his speech, and we had all the places, all the pages sharing it, saying this is a cryptic message. You know, the type of pages, Sport Bible and Lad Bible and Uni Lad and all that stuff, sharing this story and saying Cantona's off on one. He doesn't know what he's on about. When if you listen to what he's actually saying, he's talking a lot of sense. He's talking a lot of sense. Now, what he is actually saying is we are so close to eternal life in terms of science and things like that. Now, I don't know how close we are. Could be hundreds of years away. Could be a couple of years away. But this is what he's saying. We're so close to eternal life. Yet wars and diseases and things like that are increasing. So why scientifically we're closer to eternal life? Man-made problems are causing life to be shortened. That's what he was saying. He also said, I love football. What else does that mean? What else does that mean? And then he also said something like, this was my favourite quote from it. We are for the gods. They kill us for the sport. That is a great quote, isn't it? That is a great quote. We are for the gods. They kill us for the sport. It's interesting. It's interesting. He's basically kind of saying maybe footballers and these kind of people, they've given a God-given talent, yet, you know, look how they're treated sometimes. Look how they're treated sometimes in the media and things like that. It is incredible when you think about it. We proper cosplayers, me included, I'm a football fan as well, I'm going to include myself in that, but we cost football players when they're living our dream. It's mental. Geezers like me, nobody's talking about football, but this is what football fans do, and that's why I don't try to get personal with people or try and, you know, absolutely lay into someone, because at the end of the day, it's just football. I'm not here to cost no one's family life, personal life, unless they're an absolute knobhead. I'm here to discuss football. And that is what we hopefully do here on Full Time Devils, combined with a little bit of madness along the way. Andre wants Cluj. Zlatan to United says Zargazer, the homecoming. Stargazer Hayden also mentions it as well. Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asked about it in his press conference today. And while at first when he answered it, he didn't seem to to deny it. You said like, yeah, he's got my phone number and all that. Zlatan, if he was 28 and not 38, maybe, and that kind of thing. And then he got asked again about it, and he was like, look, it's not going to happen. And I think that's the right thing. I think while when you look at United, we lack a lot of depth in those forward positions. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer today says he trusts Anthony, Marcus and Mason. Mason, congratulations to him for his first call-up to the England under-21 side. And obviously Marcus is in the England national side as well. Congratulations to him on his call-up. But away from that, he's saying he trusts Martial, he trusts Mason and he trusts Marcus. And if that's the case, I love to hear that. Obviously, I'm still worried by the lack of depth that we have up top and in behind. If we get an injury to one or two of those three players, which is quite possible in a long season, especially when you've got Europa League and things like that, then it can cause problems. That's why balancing the squad is so important throughout this season. I thought Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got his team selection wrong against Crystal Palace. Who am I? If we win, you know what? I'm probably not saying that. But I thought he got his team selection wrong. And throughout the season, we're going to be tested. We're going to have difficult trips away from home. You've heard the teams that we could potentially be facing in the Europa League. And by the way, you know, the Europa League draw, they've just introduced Ashley Cole. So hopefully we're closer to them actually getting some balls out. But in regards to United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer juggling the squad is going to be massively important. We can't leave ourselves overstretched and then have players injured and not being able to play or tired and things like that in the Premier League. The Premier League is of the utmost importance. Now, obviously, if we can get to the latter stages of the Europa League while balancing our squad and resting some players, I wouldn't play Pogba in the Europa League, especially in those home games. I wouldn't play Marcus Rashford or Martial. I'd give one or two of them a rest in those games as well. Maybe David De Gea could get given a rest in those games as well. And I'd look to wrap a couple of players that build our spine in cotton wool throughout this Europa League, so that when we've got those games after the Europa League games, we've actually got a fresh spine to the team. And then with your youngsters, they can bring that, you know, that energy and that exuberance and that, you know. So that's what we're looking at here. It says on BT Sport the draw isn't on till 1. That's correct. The initial programming they had on was the Europa League final from last year. That started an hour earlier, and that confused me. It made me change the stream time, but then I checked and it was 1 p.m. Monaco time. 1 p.m. Monaco time is 12 p.m. UK time. I came live at 12 p.m. Paulo Ferreira is now being introduced. I'm not sure if because it's a whole load of Chelsea holding the Europa League that they're bringing loads of ex-Chelsea players out. But Paulo Ferreira has now joined Ashley Cole. So we're getting closer. So they need 4 people to get their balls out. Now, pause. They need 4 people to do the draw. And they've got 2 so far. Paulo Ferreira and Ashley Cole. So we're probably expecting Ricardo Carvalho and John Terry to come out any minute now to do the remainder of the draw. Any more comments, guys? I'm happy to take any of your random questions as well while we're waiting for the Europa League group stage draw. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you like it. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure you're sharing on Full Time Devils. This is your channel. Remember, we got plenty more action coming your way as well. Obviously, this week we've had the Southampton preview. The Full Time Devils podcast came up. We've had This Week at Man United with Gaz. We've had a whole host of stuff. We've had extra content on the FTD Premium, which you can also join. The link is in the description below. It's on YouTube. If you don't want to join that, that's fine. You're still going to get the previews, the reviews, the fan cams, the podcasts, everything like that. You just get added bonuses on the Premium channel for supporting the channel. I don't want to see anyone getting their balls out, says Gungshi. Good point. I need a bit of water. Do you think Chung will make the squad for the weekend, says Ben. For the weekend, I'm not too sure. He was involved with the under-23s against Newcastle last weekend, was it? Last Friday. I'm not sure if the 23s are playing today, but if he was involved with them, then I kind of feel that maybe he's not going to be involved with the first team this week, and maybe they're just giving him some game time there. But he did get a couple of assists and goal as well, so you never know. Oh, we have got the remainder of the people out, so it looks like they've just brought extra staff members. So it looks like the Europa League draw may be starting very, very soon. What other odds if Terry is there? He comes out with a full Chelsea kit, probably. Oh, it's that guy Giorgio Marchetti who looks like a younger Claudio Ranieri who's back. I love this guy. No. He also looks a little bit like, remember RoboCop before he became RoboCop? He also looks a little bit like him, but he's got a healthier hairline. Can we get the... Fucking, come on. Can we get the draw started, please, guys? Noel says Gomez might make the bench for tomorrow's game. I'd like to see Angel Gomez make the bench for tomorrow's game, for the simple reason being that Lingard's out of form. Mata is not the quickest. So if you want to change things up, then we can bring in Angel Gomez in that number 10 position. Tom says, keep Ollie forever. We need to get rid of the players that don't love the badge. Totally agree with you. And you can see that Ollie is getting rid of the players that don't fit in with Manchester United, whether it's because of fitness, whether it's because of big bucks and not doing anything, looking at you, Alexis Sanchez, whether it's because they're simply not good enough. We're seeing the likes of Smalling leave, Sanchez leave, Lukaku leave, Matic frozen out of the first 11, Jones frozen out of the first 11. Ashley Young wouldn't have been starting against Southampton. He might not start against Southampton, but he wouldn't have been involved if Luke Shaw and Delors weren't injured. So you're looking at this and you're seeing that Ollie is actually moving the club on into a better position. Now they're talking about who's in what pot. So pot 1 is the pot United are in. It's Sevilla, Arsenal, Porto, Roma, Manchester United, Dinamo Kiev, Besiktas, Basel, Sporting, CSKA Moscow, Wolfsburg and Lazio. Then we got PSV, Krasnodar, Celtic, Copenhagen, Braga, Ghent, Mönchengladbach, Young Boys, Astana. It's moved on from that now, so I'll have to get my own little list up that I had here. Where did I get to? Astana, Ludogorets, Apoel and Frankfurt. Pot 3, San Etienne, Karabag, Feyenoord, Getafe, Espanyol, Malmo, Partizan, Standard, Liège, Rennes, Rosenborg and Başakşehir. Pot 4, AZ Alkmaar, Vitoria, Trabzonspor, Alexandria, Dudelange, Lask, Wolfsburg, Bratislava, Lugano, Rangers, Cluj and Ferencváros. Now they're telling us how the draw will go down. Jesus wept. So there's 12 groups of 4. So that means 12 groups of 4. How much is that when it's at home? 48. That means 24 go through to the next stage. You then get 12 drop down from the Champions League, is it? Is it 12? Not sure. At least we will play plenty of the academy players, says Jacob. Martial Rashford never scored more than 11 league goals in a season. Whose fault will it be this year? Well, they have been very young for a lot of their time. People seem to forget that because they've been thrust into the first team so quickly. But Martial and Rashford are 21. Now, they do need to improve their goal tally, obviously, and hopefully we'll see that this season. But there's various reasons for them not probably doing that. Anthony Martial would have hit 20 plus goals in the season Alexis Sanchez arrived at Manchester United. I have no doubt about that. And then he got dropped for Alexis. He was on 10 league goals in December, 3 player of the months. Just scored in 3 consecutive games. Now, he would have had a little dip in form. But you're not telling me if he plays 3-4 months consecutive football after that he's not getting over 20 goals, because he would have. And then you don't know where, his development is then. It would have been much, much further ahead. Herrera is yet to make the bench for PSG. What a waste, says Red United Views. He has been injured, mate. He has been injured. So I think they're doing pot 1 now, hopefully. You know what I hate, yeah? They do some sort of video for every little bit. Every little bit. Part says, do I play Fantasy Premier League? I don't play Fantasy Premier League, no. You know what? I normally do it every single year, just before the season starts. And then after 2 weeks, I absolutely forget to do it. Or I won't do my captain 1 week, or I won't change an injured player, and then I'll just lose heart and think, forget it. I did not say Martial was a youth player. So whoever's commenting that, unless you're replying to someone in the comments, whoever's saying that, you need to relax yourself. So Sevilla are the first one out of the hat. Do they go into Group A? I'm not actually sure what happens here. Yeah, Sevilla are in Group A. Ashley Cole is feeling his balls at the moment. He's got another one out. That's what she said. Kiev are B. So at least the draw has now started. So we're not waiting for the draw to start anymore. The draw has started. Who should replace Lingard, says Mark Mershika. We're probably not going to get a signing in that area of the pitch until the summer at least. I know the squad is thin, but I love the clear out, says Tom. Part of me feels like it's a clear out and part of me feels like it's Glazeronomics. That's life though, I suppose. Basel are out of the hat. Aaron wants me to give my prediction for the last four of the Champions League. Man City, Juventus. Man City, Juventus, Real Madrid and Liverpool. I hope we don't get any Russian teams, says Stephen. Me too, mate. I don't fancy another trip to Russia, especially in November, December. You know, if the weather's alright, I don't mind. Some of the places there are beautiful. But I really don't fancy a trip to Russia if it's cold. I like going to places where it's hot. Because we get shit weather here, you know what I mean? So if we're going somewhere, I want to go somewhere where it's hot. Lazio out, so they're Group E. We've got to Group E now, so United are going to be 12 letters. What's the 12th letter? F, G, H, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. They're going to L. I don't believe I just had to do that. This is the Europa League draw. This is what happens in the Europa League draw. You forget how to count. You forget how to count. Porto are out now. Porto out of the draw. Obviously this is seed 1, so we can't play any of these teams that are out at the moment. CSK Moscow now. But that's one trip to Russia that we can't have, which isn't bad, I suppose. United, Besiktas, Wolfsburg are amongst the teams still left. I think there's about 4 left. Why do people seem to think United used to have a squad of 20-year-olds in the good old days? Turkstani, thank you for the nice comment. Who is this? Is this Besiktas? Is this United? This is Wolfsburg. Group L, you can't write this stuff. Please don't put United in Group L, whatever you do. No. No. It could be, you know. It could be. Guys, it could be Group L. It's either going to be K or L. United a Group L? No, we're not really, I don't think. Oh! We are Group L. No! Oh shit! We're Group L, guys. We are Group L. Ladies and gentlemen, we're Group L. So, ladies and gentlemen, Manchester United are Group L. Would you believe it? Can you write this script? Group L for Manchester United. Sorry, I just had to change the graphic, hence why I went a little bit quiet. Group L. Pathetic. We even take L's in the group lottery. What's wrong with Group L? You don't ever want an L. L for lucky winners. L for lucky. Or L for losers. Who knows? Happy birthday, Turkistan. I hope you're doing well. Krasnodar are out of the draw, so looks like we can't be getting Krasnodar. Group lovely, says Jacob. Krasnodar are in Group C, so it looks like we might have missed out on a trip to Russia. May have. Who knows? We'll find out very soon. Who do you guys want out of this pot then? Pot 2. So Krasnodar's gone. Copenhagen are out of the pot. So we got PSV, Krasnodar, Celtic, Copenhagen, Braga, Ghent, Gladbach, Young Boys, Astana, Ludogorets, Apoel and Frankfurt is who can come out of this one. PSV are out. Will we get them? I don't know how they're working this one out at the moment, to be honest. I think, is it just pot, like, I know it's potluck, but is it just... so PSV are in the group with Sporting. That's an interesting group. Group G there for them. So we'll find out soon. Paulo Ferreira's got his special balls out at the moment. And he's currently drawing. I told you, oh, Celtic are out. Is this us? Celtic going to Group E. I wanted Celtic to be in Group L with us. Celtic are in a group with Lazio. Another interesting tie there. So we can't get Celtic. We can't get PSV. We can't get Krasnodar. We can't get Copenhagen. We can get Braga, Ghent, Gladbach. Frankfurt are out. Frankfurt are out and into Group F with Arsenal. So we can't get Frankfurt either. Astana, Young Boys, Gladbach are potential opportunity, and Braga I think are potentials for us here. Copenhagen are already out of the hat. Young Boys are now out of the hat. Young Boys are in Group G with Porto. Young Boys are with Porto. So that's where we're going with that one. Let's see who we get out now. So very close. We got Ghent, Braga, Gladbach, Astana and Ludogorets. Sorry, did I say Ghent were already out? Ludogorets are out. Ludogorets are in Group H, so not for Manchester United. They are with CSKA Moskva. Or Moscow. Let's have a look. Right now we're waiting for this. And remember guys, it's the UEFA Europa League group stage draw. Manchester United are in the Group L. Mönchengladbach. J. So we don't get Mönchengladbach. Mönchengladbach going to a group with Roma. So that's not for us either. Could we be getting Braga, Astana or Apoel? Braga, Astana, Apoel, maybe. Trip to Apoel, Cyprus would be nice. Ghent. There'll be I with Wolfsburg. So we don't get Ghent. I think it's out of Braga and Apoel, maybe. Maybe. Not sure. Let's have a look. Come on. Who is this? Braga. I think we have got Apoel, you know. Where's Apoel gone? Oh, Astana. Oh, we got to go to where? Kazakhstan. Jesus. What's the weather like in Kazakhstan, guys? Can anyone fill me in on that one? It looks like I'm going to Kazakhstan. Oh man. Adam's going to Astana. What do we make of that, guys? A long trip to Kazakhstan. Google's Astana. Another L there. Kazakhstan, says Alex. Cold herd pints of £1. Yes! £1 pint in Kazakhstan. It's better than a £1 fish, that. Karabag are the first one out of the third, so we're moving on a little bit quicker now. We are going to Kazakhstan. You're going to get a vlog of Full-Time Devils in Kazakhstan, but right now we have the first one out, and it is Astana. Manchester United will be playing, but what it is a fixture we should be winning, a fixture that we should be winning, a fixture that we could possibly play our younger players in, and hopefully enjoy great success. That's uncalled for. Sorry. I won't do that again. I won't do that again. One of the comments got me triggered to say it. It's a beautiful stadium. Pack the Mankini. I've actually got one, which is worrying. I got it from HMV with the DVD. Drep, I hope you'll come back alive. I'll come back alive, mate. I'll probably fit in with this face, so Kazakhstan's probably a good place for me to go. They've got a little bit of a tan there, innit? I might think I'm a local. Delo is injured. My banter is dead. Mikey, I love you, mate. But come on, man. It's been a long time. We've been sat here doing this draw. Europa League draw for... I haven't even got a watch on. 33 minutes we've been doing this draw for. I'm sat here cracking up. You're sat here cussing me because of my shit banter. Don't know what I'm going to do myself. You come out then. Pot C's got Wolves in it. We can't get Wolves though. Rosenborg are out. Pissed off a tenner. Yes, Stephen. You want to go fiver each? Absolutely tear the place up. Can't wait to take it all out in Kazakhstan. It's going to be a depressing time. Stade Rennais are out. Can we get them? I don't even know. I bet we'll get Trabzonspor for a laugh because Sturridge plays for them. I forgot that Daniel Sturridge still played football. No worries, Michael. Love you, mate. Anurag wants Espanyol. Espanyol, funny enough, coming out of the draw just as I said it. Espanyol going to a group with CSKA, Ludogorets. Respect the competition or we won't win it. Bang on, mate. Bang on. That Spain trip is off the cards as Espanyol are already out of the hat. Who is next? Manchester United so far in Group L with Astana. Saint Etienne are out. Could we get a close local trip to France? We played Saint Etienne. Was it in the last time we were in the Europa League? And Zlatan scored a hat-trick. They're in the group with Wolfsburg and Ghent. We're on Group I now, so I'm imagining with JKL 2 away from finding out who United will get. Istanbul, Başakşehir are out, and then we've still got Partizan Belgrade, Standard Liège, and I think Wolves after these. Istanbul go into a group with Mönchengladbach and Roma. That's a pretty difficult group, you know. I know Istanbul have signed a few players recently. Who have we got? If it's Wolves, we can't get Wolves. We're not going to Istanbul. Standard Liège. Standard Liège going to a group with Arsenal and Eintracht Frankfurt. Who will United get? We're close to finding out. There's only 2 teams left. One of those is Wolves. So who's the other one? United get Partizan Belgrade as well. So United will be getting a trip to Belgrade in it. That is fantastic. The fans, they're off the hook. It'll be an interesting away day for sure. Not the easiest of away days. Partizan Belgrade. Serbia trip for Manchester United. So that's Serbia and Kazakhstan that Manchester United will be heading to in the Europa League. Not the most local of trips. Will be going to Belgrade. Let me just tweet that next up. Partizan Belgrade in Group L. What's your reaction to that then, guys? We've got Partizan, we've got Astana, we are in Group L. We are one step closer to finding out who we get in the final one of those names right there. Come on, let it be Rangers or someone so we get one close trip at least. Get the pyros out. It's going to be an absolute nutcase of a trip in Partizan, and in Belgrade it's going to be off the easy. We're getting to the 4th and final pot right now, sort of Galatasaray in terms of that. Yeah, it's nuts. They've got some great fans over there in Serbia. Red Star got great fans. Partizan have got great fans. It's going to be nuts. Hope we get Rangers, says Andrew. Rangers being out. Bashi asks, no, they're in the pot 4, and pot 4 is starting to go now. And this is who's in pot 4. We have got AZ Alkmaar, Vitoria, Trabzonspor, Alexandria, Dudelange, Lask, Wolfsburg, Bratislava, Lugano, Rangers, Cluj, and Ferencvaros. And the first one out of the hat, out of the pot, in pot 4 for the final teams is Dudelange of Luxembourg. I think they're from Luxembourg. What the hell are they talking about now, man? Dudelange are in a group with Apoel, Karabag and Sevilla. That is Group A. We are very, very close to finding out United's final group stage opponents. And, come on. Let's be having ya. Let's be having ya. Paulo Ferreira spinning the ball, getting the name out. Let's see who this is right about now. Lugano of Switzerland. Man United fans are hella negative, says Rahul. Have you seen the last 6 years? I say that, you know what, you are right, mate. I say, look at the last 6 years we've had. And we as United fans, I know it's not been perfect and it should have been a lot better. But we've won every trophy apart from the Premier League and the Champions League. Most fans don't get to see their clubs win them trophies. We've won all of them apart from the Premier League, Champions League. Obviously, those are the holy grail. That's what we really want. But we are spoiled little shits, aren't we? Well, if you're my age anyway, you're definitely a spoiled little shit. Trabzonspor are out of the hat, so I don't think we can get them. I think they'll go into Group C with Basel, Krasnodar and Gaddafi, and they do go into Group C. We are off to Kazakhstan and Serbia. Yep, we are indeed. Who's next? We're finding out very, very soon. Thank you for sticking with me, guys, by the way. If you like ain't here, I'm here chatting to myself, doing absolute rubbish on Full-Time Devils, and you lot are here all the way with me, so I absolutely do appreciate you. Absolute legends. Make sure you're keeping it locked to Full-Time Devils. Make sure you're subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing. No! Rangers are in the group with Feyenoord, Porto and Young Boys, so we can't go to the Ibrox again. Can we get PSV? We got Alkmaar as a potential Dutch trip. I wouldn't mind a trip to Holland. Pardon me. Lask. So LSK and Linz are in Group D with Sporting Eindhoven and Rosenborg. So AZ haven't been drawn out, Vitoria haven't been drawn out, Alexandria haven't been drawn out, Wolfsburg, Bratislava haven't been drawn out, Cluj haven't been drawn out, Varos haven't been drawn out, I don't think. I might be wrong on a few of them, but let's have a look. Cluj are out right now. Obviously a massive club out there in Romania. They are out of the draw right now. That Wolfsburg is the Austrian Wolfsburg that I'm saying, not the German Wolfsburger. Who's out now? Alexandria are from Ukraine, mate. And they are out of the hat right now. Whenever I answer a question about a certain team, they seem to come out of the pot. Thank you, Anwin. I appreciate your comment, mate. Sir Cole says we have to top this group with ease. Cluj joined Lazio, Celtic and Rennes. Let's see, another ball coming out. We've got 5 left till we find out the total group. Vitoria of Portugal are out now. Into Group F. So we're down to 3 teams, I believe. Sorry, 4 teams. Yeah, 4 teams left at the moment. Alkmaar are one of those. Wolfsburg are one of those. Yeah, I'm gutted about Rangers as well, William. Gutted about that. It would have been a great trip, and it would have been a great game at Old Trafford as well. Ferencváros are out. Come on, give us Alkmaar, man. So we've got Alkmaar, we've got Wolfsburg, and we've got, is it Bratislava, I think, left? Wolfsburg are out. Two games, 2 teams to go. Alkmaar or Bratislava, it seems to be. Yeah, Alkmaar or Bratislava. Who will Manchester United get? If this one is, let's see who this one is, and then I think we get the other one. Depending on who's. Give me Alkmaar. I want a trip to Holland. Come on. Don't let this one be Alkmaar. Let this be Bratislava. Go. Yes! Yeah, United get 1 trip. At least there's 1 local trip that I can do that I can be happy about. Jeez. Trip to Holland. We're going to Holland. We're going to Holland. AZ Alkmaar. So Manchester United's group stage is Astana of Kazakhstan, Partizan Belgrade, and of Serbia, and of course AZ Alkmaar. Manchester United's group L. That is the group, guys. Let us know your thoughts on that. Daniel says, what a horrible draw. Alkmaar were probably the most difficult team in pot 4, to be honest, and we've got them, and we've got 2 difficult away trips as well. Steve McLaren's old team, didn't he manage 20? I don't know if he managed Alkmaar as well, but he definitely managed 20. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments below. United's group is confirmed as Group L. We've got Astana of Kazakhstan. We've got Partizan Belgrade of Serbia. And we've got AZ Alkmaar of Holland. That is Manchester United's group. There's a few interesting groups. Lazio, Celtic, Rennes, Cluj, is an interesting group. I'm gutted we didn't get Rangers or Celtic. I actually am very gutted we didn't get Rangers or Celtic. I feel like we should have got one of them, and we didn't. We did get Astana, we did get Partizan Belgrade, and we did, of course, get AZ Alkmaar. I want your reaction here on Full Time Devils. I told you it'd take more than half an hour. Van Gaal managed Alkmaar. Someone says Partizan fans are insane. That they are. Fantastic fans there. Romero to start every game but the final, says Ben Cooper. If we don't get 18 points, then we should just retire. Group L, lol, says Tesso. Trip to the cafe, says Stephen, who knows the vibe. 10 years ago, those teams would have been dreading playing us. Now they think they can beat us. I think that trip to Belgrade away from home is a tricky trip. I'm not going to lie. There's been some good teams go over to Belgrade and find it difficult in front of those kind of atmospheres, especially if we play a younger team. But every one of those teams we should be beating at home. AZ Alkmaar, the most difficult of them. Partizan Belgrade, Astana. We should be beating every one of those teams at home. You get 9 points in your home game. You get a win on the road, and you're through in the group. And I believe we can take this Europa League group whilst resting key players. Pogba, Rashford or Martial need to be rested every game. David De Gea needs to get rested every game. And Maguire maybe too, although with it being his, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, with it being their first season. Did Maguire play European football with Leicester? I'm not too sure. But with it being their first season at United, they're probably going to want to be involved in the Europa League. But some of these away ties. We don't need to be taking Paul Pogba to Kazakhstan or Serbia. We don't need to be taking both of Marcus Rashford and Martial to Kazakhstan or Serbia. Same with David De Gea. We can get by without those players. And if we're not qualifying from this group without those players, then we don't deserve to be in the Europa League. And we definitely don't deserve to be in the Champions League. Anyway, guys, let me know what you're thinking about the draws. Manchester United are drawn against Partizan Belgrade, AZ Alkmaar and Astana of Kazakhstan. Two very, very difficult long trips for United. And of course, one more local trip just over the water to Holland. Cannot wait to be there for those games. And remember, guys, we will be there for those games as well. So make sure you're keeping it locked to Full Time Devils, the Manchester United fan channel for the fans, by the fans. This is your show. Make sure you're keeping your comments coming in on Manchester United's Europa League group stage draw. United, Astana, Partizan, and of course, Alkmaar in Group L. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I have been Adam McCullough. I'm going to go and get a drink now. Thank you for tuning into Full Time Devils. Hope you guys have all been well. Of course, subscribe on your way out. Don't forget there's FTD Premium as well if you fancy spending a little bit extra for a little bit more content. But you don't have to if you don't want to. That's just if you fancy it. You get what I'm saying? Because you're still going to get all the usual content. You're still going to get live streams like this. You're still going to get the review, the fan cams and all that good stuff. The preview is up from Southampton and we'll be at St Mary's tomorrow for the game. So keep it locked and loaded to Full Time Devils. For now, I'm out of here.